Hey guys, welcome to Sustainable Truth. This is your host Otis. Nuclear energy has been phasing out slowly over the last decade. However, it just got a jolt of new promises as trends shift around the world. Let's dive deeper and see what's going on. Nuclear power generation had a lot of bad reputation from previous incidents such as Chernobyl, 3 Mile Island and Fukushima nuclear power plants. With that being said, I am not for or against nuclear energy. This video is going to be a mixed points and a discussion of technology. I think it's a fascinating technology but has its own risks as we have seen in the past. Many lessons have been learned, but the damage to its reputation was done. Therefore, it was being phased out by most countries, replacing them with cheap natural gas. However, this left them vulnerable to energy crisis in times of uncertainty and also is polluting the planet. Huge nuclear power plants are expensive to construct and operate, but in theory, if disposed of nuclear waste properly, it's a clean energy solution, be it not perfect, as we still need to mine uranium for its fuel source. It's still a consumable resource, but it does not release CO2 upon consumption. But you might ask, why not just build more wind and solar? Wind and solar are great when the sun is shining and the wind is blowing. But that's not realistic to keep light on all the time. We still need a baseload, and a modern nuclear power is much better solution than coal or gas. Well, what about future generations, you might ask? How does this strategy play out long term? We cannot sustain nuclear power forever either, as we will use up uranium eventually, especially if we switch to nuclear for our baseload. However, it's a cleaner alternative for a good few decades to come. Eventually we can replace it with battery storage, but that will take some time. Battery storage for baseload? Yes, in a lot of places it will be possible. At this point in time, batteries are still quite expensive. However, they will get cheaper over time. Coupled with renewables, such as wind and solar, the cost of batteries is going down predictably, and so is solar and wind. Over time, more and more renewables will fill the market, and so will the storage to capture and release it at peak times. But nuclear can still be a reliable source of baseload for short and medium term, or even power source for large industrial complexes that require a lot of power. With this being said, let's look at the newest advances in SMRs, small modular reactors, and timelines for production. Rolls-Royce. Yes, to some it may come as a surprise that Rolls-Royce is into nuclear energy, but fact of the matter is that they're doing it for quite a while. So far, 100 years in manufacturing and 60 years in nuclear power plants, to be more precise. They are already in a licensing phase and plan to offer a modular design for ease of transport and affordability, as well as repeatability and for safety concerns. They plan to provide a whole power plant as a package, unlike their jet engine business where they only provide engines for the plane. They want to sell a complete product plant, so it can be safely constructed, transported, assembled, and maintained. SMRs are much smaller than conventional nuclear power plants. This means easier to ship to remote areas as everything is road transported. Modular design allows easier and repeatable install, and operation of the plant will also be a repeatable process. Smaller plant also allows a stealth and/or beautiful design that fits perfectly in more urban areas. Small size and new safety systems means accidents are less likely, and in the event of failure, there would not be a widespread fallout. But also worth noting that there would be need for more reactors as they are smaller, so more widespread risk overall. There are many different types of reactors. Many countries are looking at floating or underwater reactors, for example China and Russia. There's a lot of controversy and different opinions about nuclear. I'm not an expert in any way, but the current technologies are looking promising. Until we can find a way to have a stable base load for the grid, it's a considerable option. I believe that the effect of burning coal and gas to power our lives has a negative effect on health and longevity also. It's just not talked about enough. Nuclear seems scary when looking at the past, but time will tell if new safety systems and reactor designs will solve this problem. As of May 2022, there were 439 nuclear reactors in operation in some 30 countries around the world. The United States had the largest number of nuclear power reactors in operation at the time, at 92 units. So we do have quite a few running around us without any issues. With that being said, the more of those we have, the bigger potential of misuse. The safety aspect has come a long way, but greed for profits and cost cutting has not. I would support even more stringent regulation from the governments, but also incentives to get it done. The last point I would like to touch on is that these projects take a long time to be approved and built. Even being smaller scale reactors, time from concept to production is very long. We might not see them fully tested and commercially running until at least 2030. And this is another issue. We don't want to push these concepts and take shortcuts in the approval processes, as this might spell another disaster. By 2030, the renewable and battery costs will be much lower and have much more supply. And the question arises, will there still be a need for more nuclear power plants? I hope this explains a little bit about the nuclear future. Please feel free to comment below with anything that should be added. Guys, thank you so much for watching until the end. If you enjoy, hit like and subscribe. It helps YouTube promote this content. I want to provide value to as many as I can, so this helps a lot. Any thoughts or feedback would be much appreciated in the comments below. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next one.